after an exhaustive 2-month investigation, today we charge that for 16 years it has been the policy of 2 governors in Delaware deliberately not to employ enough officers to safely run Delaware's prisons. Instead, they spent up to $23 million a year forcing understaffed officers to work 16-hour shifts overtime to save money at the expense of putting their lives at risk at the hands of violent offenders. We also charge that these policies were hidden from our elected representatives in the General Assembly. They never knew what was going on. So today, the estate of Steven Floyd, his survivors in his family, and 5 of his fellow hostages who survived torture, death, beatings in the inmate uprising on February 1st and 2nd, have taken their case to a federal court, judge and jury, charging that former governors Ruth and Markell were derelict in their duties, and they're seeking compensatory and punitive damages. The linchpin of the lawsuit is the 2004 rape of Cassie Arnold at the Vaughn prison. She was seized by an inmate serving 660 years for rape. So what did the governor do? The governor said, let's find some disinterested and respected judges, and let's do a study, and let's see what we can do to prevent it from happening again. And 2 of our very distinguished judges concluded that Minner had to hire more correctional officers to ensure safety in the system, that Minner had to stop this abuse of overtime, which had risen from $2 million to $8 million in overtime in the first 2 years of her time. That they had to start doing searches for weapons, because they weren't even doing searches for weapons like the shank that almost got plunged into the heart of that poor woman. But did Minner follow this disinterested advice? No, she just passed it on to her successor, Governor Markell, and guess what he did? Under his reign, there still were not enough officers to search for weapons. Overtime rose from that $8 million to $23 million. 800,000 overtime hours worked in his last year in office. And he issued an order that at least 90 positions in the system there at Vaughn had to be kept vacant permanently.